Ko matawhaura, te tūpare hau o te wai kaukau, e ki a nei tōna ingoa koro toiti, tēnā kōrua, tēnā tātou ngā pūmanawa e waru, e aku nui, e aku rangatira o ngā waka katoa e hui mai nei, i ta rā nei tēnā koutou, ngā kai kōrero, ngā kai mahi, ngā kai whakahaere o te kaupapa he kai kei aku ringa, ki muri, ki mua, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Ke te pēhea tātou, ke te hoha, ke te ngenge, ke te matekai, aroha mai, tatanea te wā whakatā, te wā kai, kua rere taku kōrero. Ke te mohi o tātou, te whakatauaki, hea te mea nui o te ao. Te moni, ka. Aramoi. Te primary industries pia. Ka, he tangata. Kei te pai tēnā, kei te mohi o tātou, ai. Engari, ko tēnei taku pātai. Hea te mea nui o te tāngata. He kai pia, he kai kei aku ringa pia. Kei te pai tēnā. Engari, he pātai anō. Hea te kai nui o te tāngata. He kai a te puku, he kai a te ngākau, he kai a te hinengaro, he kai a te wairua, he kai a te ure, he kai a te tore. Ara mai. Kei a koutou tēnā. Taku whakaaro, te katoa i nei mea, te kai, te hia kai o te tāngata. Engari, he pātai anō. He aha, te kai a te rangatira, kei te mohi o tātou. He kōrero. He kōrero, he hai te kōrero. Te pū kōrero, te whai kōrero, te mana o te kōrero. Tēnā te kiko o taku kōrero i te atanei, te mana o te kōrero. Nō reira, ko tērā taku tino mahi, te kōrero. Mea ki roto i te pawaka whakaata, ki roto i te whare kiriata, ki runga i te ataamira, ki roto i ngā ipurangi o te rorohiko mea. Te mea, rite tono e nei mea, he kōrero, nō reira. Mita mohi, te puea. Winston Churchill, Adolf Hitler, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Mother Teresa, Bob Marley, Bob Dylan, well, all the Uncle Bobs. Hea te mea rito tono o ngā tāngata nei. What's the thing that they all have in common? They all understand the power of story. Let's have a little test. Who said this? Ko au, ko koe, ko koe, ko au. O taku pāpā, mita mohi. Here's a good one. If I dream alone, I can achieve something, but if we all dream together, we can achieve more. He wahine Māori tērā. Te puia, aerai. Those some in darkness of heart, seeing their land ravished, might wish to take arms and kill the aggressors. I say it must not be. Awai, te whiti o rongo mai. Okay, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Well, let me try it this way. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you, Mahatma. The greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. Oh, I don't know how to do that in Rasta. That's Bob Marley. He alone who owns the youth gains the future. This is a good one. He alone who owns the youth gains the future. Adolf Hitler, who would have guessed? I have a dream, Martin Luther King. E tipu e rea, te apirana ngata. I think my point is made. When I started life, what's happening for me now? The future for me now, I've just currently been on a big TV show all around the world, playing a Māori, zombie killer. And then my next job is going to be on a thing called The Avatar, which is the big movie. Huge movie. I just came back from LA and we just started the process of preparing for the movie. We're going to make 4 more movies, and it's a very exciting future. It couldn't be more exciting for me. I think, I couldn't be more excited to be in the game that I'm in the entertainment industry. But my life didn't start off that way. I come from a background where statistically all your government agencies and, socially I think we'd agree, even whānau would agree. Here where I started off with, I love my dad. He's a wonderful man, very kind, generous, also alcoholic, violent, and a background. I was orphaned at 3. By the time I was 12, I was in the social welfare. I was in SIPS, and I went to Mitamohi on Mokoia Island. Statistically, my story should not be. I left school at 14. I had no prospects. I couldn't hardly read. I couldn't hardly speak England good. And I carried the weight of that because everybody around me agreed, and I agreed in that story too. I thought, Jengas, my life sucks. I got a real stink story. I wish I had a better story. But then I met Mita and Ara. He had these wonderful words, ko au, ko koe, ko koe, ko au. Ko au, ko koe, ko koe, ko au simply could be understood as you are me and I am you. But it also means what's good for me is good for you. What's good for you is good for me. But let's not think about you and me. What about us? What about our whānau? And what about the katoa? So it means about if we think of each other in that way, we can all benefit. And so those are the principles that really, really honestly changed my life. And my life as an example, when I got the understanding of the power of story, it started at those early stages. My dad used to say things like oh, geez, boy, geez, you're useless. I've got more brains in my dick than all my kids put together. This is the way my father spoke. Aroha mai. Can I be straight with you, fellas? Can I be blunt? I want to be honest, And I had 2 of these stories, these conflicting stories about who I was and who I could be and who I was supposed to be and what my future might look like. And I took the other path. And I'm very, very grateful and very humbled to be here in front of you to have the opportunity to talk to you today, because I started to learn about the power of story. And as those other rangatira understood, they could shape a nation. They could shape humanity by having a powerful story to tell. And if you get your story right, that's what they all had in common. Very powerful storytellers. Who says, make America great again? The other fellow, Barack Obama, says, yes, we can. Very powerful statements that shape the consciousness of a nation, of a people. Now, what's that got to do, and what's that got to do with you? I believe story touches on everything that we do. And if you start to understand the power of story, you can utilize it. Whether you're a government agency, whether you're an enterprise, whether you're trying to set up a community, social enterprise, or work in your community. Get your story right. Make sure it's authentic, because if your story is inauthentic, you can sell a logo, but if your story is not authentic, if it's inauthentic, the people who are buying it are going to know you're all shit. And you wasted your time and you wasted all those resources. So getting a story of integrity that really can transform other people's lives, that is being of service to others, is probably one of the most powerful things that we as humanity have got to offer. Well, nō reira, he kai o ngā rangatira, he kōrero. They understood this, our tūpuna understood this. Now that leads me to, I'm actually in the entertainment industry, and that means that entertainment, we try to distract people from their daily lives. That's a big part of what entertainment, in Spanish, on my Spanish side, it's called distracción. That's what they call entertainment. It's a distraction from the daily grind. And the Māori All Blacks out there, that's sports is included entertainment. Film, television, radio, literature, music, all of this is entertainment. That's the industry that I'm in. And it's a very, very competitive industry trying to catch people's attention so that they can distract themselves from their own lives. Interesting that, eh? What a metaphor. However, I believe we have a huge opportunity and a huge responsibility to empower the content of that distraction with stories that can transform lives. And I know it's possible. I'm a living example of it. and I've taken it professionally. That's what I do for a living. I'm very successful, happily. And I've managed to, in my time, move out of just, some of you probably recognize me as a, I've played Jesus. That's one of my favorites. I'll go to the airport and go, people will literally come up to me and go, "Are you Jesus?" And my boy, when I was playing the movie of Jesus, my boy would hear people singing about Jesus, goes, "Why is everybody singing about my papa?" And I've played everything from CIA to FBI, and I've been able to transform myself physically from the dark horse, and I've been involved in some of the most successful films on the planet, in the world, in history, and also and television shows and some of the most successful shows in New Zealand. And I got but it was when I did Once Were Warriors, Whale Rider, The Piano. Does anybody remember those films? Well, here's an interesting and little known fact. None of those films are owned by Māori. And I thought, Jangus, that's not right. Because we were there doing Whale Rider, and all the kuia were sitting around watching the monitors, and I realized when the film was finished, if they wanted an image of themselves on their marae in the film telling their story, they'd have to go to the owner of the film to get permission for it and buy it from him. Even I have to go and pay them money if I want to have a clip up here to show you. I have to go and pay the fellow a few $100, get it download so I can share it with you. And I thought, well, that's business, eh? He kai a rātou ringa. But that's the business. So don't complain. That's when I got into producing. And when I got into producing, I set up a little company called Whenua Films with my cousin Ainsley Gardner. And we got this little hautatu called Taika Waititi. And we did a short film with him on the Māori Battalion, and he went to the Oscars for his other short film, For Two Cars One Night. We developed a slate of feature films. And now, between Taika and I, we've had a stunning success rate. Of the top 10 highest grossing New Zealand films ever, Hunter, The Wilder People, Boy, The World's Fastest Ending, Once Were Warriors, Well, Rider, See on His Wedding, What Becomes the Broken Hearted, What We Do in the Shadows, Footlight Flax, and The Dark Horse. Those are the top 10 grossing films of all time. 7 of those are Māori content. And we changed history because I believed at the time, I went to the Hui Taumata at the time, and I said, the future of our business is bright. I'm going to predict that we are going to produce the most successful box office hit of all time. What an arrogant thing to say. Well, we did it. We squashed the numbers. We went up against the Hollywood movies, and we did it with Boy. We broke box office expectations, and then he did it again with his next move, Hunter for the Wilder People. Now, 7 out of the top 10 films have Māori content. And it's only the ones that Taika and I do we own them. The other ones belong to people that are buying and appropriating our taonga, and they're taking ownership on it. I don't bring that up. I bring that up for a good reason. There's a huge opportunity for you all here, for all iwi, to invest in what? Our people. What I love about our industry. It's not a primary industry, it's really a small player in terms of where our economics in our industry and the amount of jobs. I got some numbers here I can share you with. It's really a small player, but what I love about our business, it's not about genetically modified. How do you get the most milk out of a cow or the most wool off a sheep, or how can you genetically modify a tree that it can sort of get the highest yield, and what you can do to soil and all that kind of stuff. In our business, you invest in people. So he hata mea nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. So when I spoke at the Hui Taumata all those years ago, and I made that prediction, it was really me hoping. I was wishing that it could come true. It wasn't arrogance at all. I was like shaking in my shoes, hoping that it could be real, wishing it to be. And it happened because we invest in our people and we invest in our stories, and those stories have got the power to transform not our lives personally, but also of our nation, and also how people perceive us around the world. When I started working in Hollywood, I was playing, Matos, ke onda we. It was that Mato, Istale, you know what I'm saying, dog? You know, that's what I had to do. You know, I was going all of these movies. They want me to be an Arab, or they want me to be a Spanish, or they want me to be something brown. Nowadays, the last few jobs, or as Howard Morrison would say, OBE, Outstanding Beige Entertainer. But nowadays, it's a really weird thing. There's a tipping point where now, on the TV show, he was supposed to be Hispanic. They made me Maori, Travis Manoa, yeah, heck. And then the next movie thing I did, I just did a movie called Meg, and they said, oh, you can be Maori. And then Avatar, he says, oh, yeah, you can be Maori. My name's Tono Wadi. Oh, it's mean. Oh, yeah, sweet as, bro. I can be a Maori. Born that way. What flavour hori do you want? Uneducated as hori, because I got that one down. You know, and so now all of a sudden, Maori's the flavour, straight up. And I'm looking at partnerships with Chinese partners, got about 3-4 movies there. American partners are coming to me, to us, to Taika, young Bailey Mackey from down the East Coast. He's doing very, very well. And they're coming to us and they're seeing us. They want to do business with us, directly with us. They want to cut out the middleman. It's a very, very exciting time for us to invest in our people, to invest in our stories. So, all of you fellas in the primary industry, all of you fellas that are writing policy and all that kind of stuff, what are you fellas going to do about it? Here's your opportunity. Seek out those opportunities. You know, I think they're very real. And to give you some numbers, thank you, Ngāwai, for helping out with these numbers. Hang on, I just got to find them. Here's some basic numbers. Gross screen industry revenue in New Zealand, $3.3 billion. Screen industry expenditure nationally, $767 million. $295 million are funded through New Zealand On Air and various parties. Rangatahi aged 4 to 17 years of age influence, average spending $257 million on entertainment. Here's you know, skyscrapers, or, you know, how many screens are there? There's like, how many jobs? There's 14,000 people employed, 24,700 jobs. You know, these are, it gives you a sort of a rough, because I know you fellas probably don't have a clue about what's happening out there, you know, and in the entertainment / screen multimedia industry. But here's a really good number. $4.7 billion Kiwi spent on online shopping spending in 2016. Now, 18% of that was $846 million was on entertainment app purchases, movie subscriptions, pay-per-views on demand. Now have a think about it. How many of you got kids back home that have got an iPad or a computer or a phone? Hands up, please. Oh, somebody doesn't. Who's got their hand down? Well, I don't know if you're telling the truth. The thing is, here's the interesting thing. Those things didn't exist 10 years ago. And all of a sudden, $1 billion is being sent on entertainment. There's an opportunity. That's only now. We haven't even started. The new technologies in our business are huge. So now's the time to get in. And you might be asking, well, how do I get into this game? Well, you know me, there's a start. And I know some people that could be helpful. And, oh yeah, no, here's another one. Here's another really good one too. At the Hui Taumata, the primary industries were farming, fishing and forestry. And I didn't have a clue what to say to all you flash people, all you government agency people, all you educated people who didn't leave school at 14, who know how to read. And I came up with a thing called film, fashion and fine arts. I just made it up. Thank you. That's inspiring. Ring my bell, ring my bell. Anyway, so here's one individual, through a filmmaker in New Zealand, not Māori, 1% increase in tourism numbers during the making of his film series, The Lord of the Rings. That equated to $33 million per annum on tourism. Peter Jackson, when he makes a film in Wellington, I just went down there with my son to see his latest film. It has an economic benefit of $85 million for the Wellington region. That's one film. Taika right now, when we first started doing his films, they were like $1 million films or $200,000 films. Now he's directing a $250 million film, which they'll pour another $150, $200 million into marketing. But they'll hope to reap back about $700, $800 million in revenue. I'm going to work on this Avatar series. That one, the revenue on that was about $3.7 billion US, one film. He's going to make 4 more of them. So it gives you a sense. And that story is all about colonization of indigenous people. Hey, go figure. Now what stories are we in flavor or what? That's the truth. If you've got a product to sell, look at this beautiful artwork. And look at all of the wine bottles in the stores, and look at all of the marketing. The Pākehā are taking all of that marketing, all of that storytelling prowess. Get your story right, and you can sell your product. You can do all that kind of storytelling. So how do you get into this game? Well, I've got a lot of ideas and not enough time to share with you. But it starts with, I've got 3 basic access ways. One is education. I developed some years ago a literacy program around storytelling to put into kura kaupapa that could go online and set up something like Facebook that would connect our IP to our kura, to our whānau, to the marae, and it would be a secure site. I was doing that 15 years ago. I poured about nearly $300,000 of my own money into it, but I was a bit ahead of the curve. But the opportunity is still there, as we're discussing this morning. What are we going to do? How are we going to protect our IP? We start off by educating our rangatahi about what IP is and how to own our IP and develop IP. That's one, that's education. The other one is a super fund like this. Well, you fellas, once you get your $200 million together, come and have a talk to me. Because we got to make the Māori battalion. We've got to make Maui. We've got TV shows. I'm investing in I've got a slate of about 10 different products that I'm doing in real time right now. What is that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then the 3 one is, is just sort of, as I said, just products, like individual products. Anybody here want to see the Māori battalion made? Well, why not? Anybody want to see our version of Maui made? Because I'm telling you, if you don't do it or we don't do it, someone else will, and you'll end up looking like a Samoan. Hey, and I got nothing against that. I think he's cool. I'm just saying there's an opportunity for us to do our own version. I don't want to get in a fight with the rock. Nō reira e te whānau. He kai aku taringa. He hata mea nui o te ao, he tangata. He hata mea nui o te tāngata. He hata mea nui o ngā rangatira. He kai a ngā rangatira. He kōrero. Tēnā koutou.
Aura.